Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome to our Twin Flame Soul Tribe here on Patreon. Thank you so much for sharing your time and energy here with this beautiful collective here on Patreon. As you guys know, the first reading I channeled on YouTube, which, by the way, the link to that first reading is in this post. If you would like to explore those messages first for context of this upcoming extended reading. But in that first reading video, it was a much shorter reading than usual. And yet I feel that it was one of the most powerful messages that have really come through in recent readings. So thank you to all of you who are co-creating those messages by sharing your powerful, beautiful intentions here. And hopefully we can bring forth something equally powerful through this extended reading. But also, I would like to channel more details and specifics because I know that in the first reading, we didn't have a chance to get into a lot of that. So my intention for this reading is to bring forth clear, specific, and helpful messages that will assist you listening wherever you are, whenever you are listening to this reading, in reconnecting with your own powerful intuitive abilities, your own intuition, because it is always your intuition that holds the answers for both this twin flame path and, of course, for every area and aspect of your life. So you can feel free to set your own intentions for this reading. I sometimes find this to be helpful, but only if you feel guided to do so, of course. And if you do feel guided to do this, you can set your intentions either out loud in the comment section of this post or even just within your own mind. So what do twin flames listening to this extended reading need to know at this time? Let's start there and see if any messages come through for our beautiful collective here. Action in the reverse position, and right away I heard this message is going to be for someone who feels at times as though things are not moving forward quickly enough, that the other in this situation, potentially their counterpart, isn't moving forward or taking action in the ways that they are hoping that they will or wanting them to. What does this person specifically need to know? And of course, I should have said this at the very beginning, but as always, only take what resonates with you personally, because even through these extended readings, I do find that a lot of specific messages do come through for different people. Appreciation in the reverse position. Okay, so the first thing I heard is a shift in focus is necessary, and we will get into that. But also I heard someone here saying, I feel underappreciated. I feel undervalued. So I feel that I'm picking up on a divine feminine here who is looking at the masculine saying, I feel like you aren't moving forward fast enough and it's causing me to feel undervalued or underappreciated. What does this divine feminine need to know about this situation? First chakra, and this came out in kind of the middle position, which I know technically isn't a position. It wasn't quite upright, but wasn't quite reversed. And what this says to me very clearly is, well, first of all, I heard relax, breathe. Things are coming into balance. Things are stabilizing. I see someone like laying bricks on a foundation of a house. And I'm also feeling spirit remind me here that laying the bricks for the foundation of a house is a job that requires a lot of care and time and attention to detail, because if you have even slightly mislaid bricks, it can affect the whole foundation of the house. So hopefully that metaphor connected with someone. I also heard construction. So someone's person may actually work in construction, or someone may be involved in construction or real estate or something involving houses here. But what I'm hearing for this person is that foundation is being laid, it's being created. And the thing about that foundation is A good foundation always takes time to be created, and the same is true energetically for your connection. There must be a period of time for that energetic foundation of your energy union, of your physically manifested relationship connection with your twin. That foundation must be fully stabilized first. How is this foundation being stabilized here? What is happening? How is this foundation of this divine feminine's connection being stabilized? 6th chakra in the upright position through reconnection with self. What I'm seeing is so beautiful here because it is each counterpart working together on a soul level to stabilize the foundation of this connection by each one actually reconnecting with their own self, with their inner voice, with their intuition. For the masculine, I feel this is happening through the portal of a very, very intense leg or portion of his spiritual awakening that is happening. We spoke to ego death, dark night of the soul in the first reading. But for the divine feminine, I feel this reconnection with self. I heard it's happening through pain at times, which I know sounds really strange, but it's like through the pain, you are reconnecting with yourself because you are learning that the pain is symptomatic, that when you feel pain emotionally or physically, or pain in the form of tiredness, exhaustion, you are, through the portal of that pain, learning that the pain is symptomatic of the need to reconnect with yourself. I heard body intuition. I'm hearing spirit come in to say, divine feminine, your intuition doesn't just speak to you in words in your own mind that pop into your head or through visuals in your mind, or even just through your emotions, but also through sensations in your physical body. And I feel there's a divine feminine here who has felt either, I heard physical illness for some, or simply for others, feelings of fatigue, not feeling physically right at times in her body. And I feel spirit coming in here to say, this can be as much a sign of intuition, a call to reconnect with yourself. I heard grounding yourself. I see someone nurturing themselves in a very physical kind of way through what they are fueling their body with, through the foods that they are eating, through exercises that they are doing, even if it's yoga or stretching. I see someone walking out in nature, just doing all of these things to ground themselves physically. I feel this could be really essential for some divine feminine listening here, but also with caring connections in the upright position. I hear two things from this card. One, this card came out in the first reading, and it is the card that has the image of the woman holding flowers. And I said that when this card came out in the first reading, although I do feel that this may have been in the first reading when I actually wasn't recording. You'll remember that I said in the first video, I thought I recorded, but then it wasn't recording, so I had to re-record the reading. But anyway, so I may have not said this, which could be why it's coming up now, but I see this divine feminine holding flowers, and it looks in the card as though these flowers come from the man who is wrapping his arms around her. But I said that what I was getting from this card in this context is actually, this is about the divine feminine no longer seeking the flowers, metaphorically speaking, from someone else, but giving herself the flowers. Now, of course, this doesn't mean that she should accept poor treatment or not having her needs met or fulfilled by others in romantic relationship. What this means is she loves herself enough to give herself the flowers, to care for herself in the ways that she is so desiring from other masculine energies. And because of that, she is actually becoming magnetized through self-love for true, harmonious, loving, supportive love connection, because self-love carries an equivalent frequency to twin flame love. So when this divine feminine radiates self-love, love turned inward, it is equivalent to her showing love to her twin. It brings them together, it magnetizes them closer together. And so I feel that this is the powerful realization that this divine feminine is having with this 6th chakra, the 3rd eye chakra card in the upright position, that only through fully loving myself can I then magnetize in truly loving and supportive connections with others. That's what I'm picking up from this divine feminine. Now, I want to channel from the masculine here as well. So if the divine feminine's powerful realization here, because I said that they were both reconnecting with themselves. So if that is how the feminine is reconnecting with herself through this portal of self-love, how is the divine masculine here reconnecting with himself and therefore stabilizing the foundation of the connection? How is the masculine reconnecting with himself here? Wow, guys, two very powerful cards. Blossoming abundance in the upright position. I'm also hearing that some of you may be seeing a lot of the number 3 or 333. Also the yin yang card. And for some reason, actually, this number 3, it also made me think of 3 strikes. I heard 3 strikes, you're out. And I feel like this could be metaphoric for the masculine in the physical, feeling as though he used up all of his chances, his second chances, or even third chances, or more with the divine feminine, because she finally said in the physical, I've had enough. I am raising my standards. It's like this 3 strikes, you're out kind of energy, although of course that's speaking from a very physical 3D perspective. So forgive me for that. It's a bit of a loose metaphor, but I feel that it's also very fitting and illustrative of this energy. And the second card to come out is the yin yang card in the upright position. This is the strongest, most twin flame card in this entire deck. And so what I see is through this masculine feeling as though he's losing the feminine, feeling as though he's used up all of his second chances, he's actually now realizing, it's almost this masculine saying, through feeling like I lost you or I'm losing you, I now realize how much you truly mean to me. And not just on this superficial, artificial level of how much she means to him physically, but what you are to me on a soul level. I am reconnecting. I'm seeing through the illusion of this life and reconnecting with the truth of the soul connection that we share. That is what I hear this divine masculine saying. I literally hear a masculine's voice in my head saying, I realize that we are twin flames. I feel that this masculine could have even come across the term twin flames. He may even use this term now recently because of this realization, like, wait a second, yes, that's what we are. If he wouldn't specifically use the term twin flames, then at the least there is this strong consciousness of the soul deep bond that he shares with the divine feminine. But again, it's through this portal of pain. Just like I said, the divine feminine through the pain of symptoms that were showing up emotionally or in her life or in her relationships, symptoms of not fully loving or supporting herself. That pain taught her how to shift, to reverse that equation, to love herself more fully, to fully reconnect with herself in a mirrored way through the portal of the pain for the masculine, which was feeling this disconnect from the divine feminine or feeling as though he was losing her. I just see someone like, it feels like it's slipping through my fingers. That's what I feel this masculine saying. Through that portal of pain, the masculine is now consciously, strongly realizing the truth of the soul bond that he shares with the divine feminine. Wow, such beautiful cards here. And I never pull a Rumi Oracle card right in the middle of a reading, but I feel this masculine wanting to speak to me through this Rumi Oracle deck. So what is this masculine trying to say here? What is one Rumi card here from this masculine? The Lover and the Beloved. This card actually came out in a recent reading as well because I posted the image of this card on my Instagram account, which is @magnetizeyourself, if you would like to follow me there. And the guidebook says, when you move beyond consciousness, you caress the beloved. When you move into the unknown, beyond everything, the beloved caresses you. It is not enough to love me. I want you to allow me to love you. It is not enough to desire me, to want to be closer to me. I want to reach out to you and grab a hold of you, drawing you into me. and never letting you be apart from me again. Wow, very, very powerful love messages coming from this masculine. There is so much more for us to experience, you and me, than simply gazing, even with love, at each other from a distance. Let me take you into my arms. Let me hold you until we cease to know or care where you and I were you and I, for instead we will be one. Will you allow it? Will you allow me? Will you allow us to be? I can see why the masculine wanted me to pull a card from that deck, because that was such an eloquent, powerful love message to the divine feminine from this higher self level. And I feel this really speaking to a few different things, but one is that the masculine, I heard, suffocated in the past. It's almost as though in the past, when the feminine was closer to him in the physical or more active in his life or his physical 3D reality, he became so reliant on her to be his emotional compass, to be his spiritual guide, to essentially be his proxy for connection to the divine, because I feel this masculine wasn't being pushed to fully need to reconnect with his own higher self, with his own intuition, with essentially his inner divine feminine. Because when the divine feminine physically was more present in his life, in his reality, he was able to use her more so as a bridge to the divine, to spiritual connectedness, to his higher self. And because of this, I feel he was left very much in the dark, very unconscious of the depth of the soul connection that they shared, because again, he wasn't fully connecting with his own higher self, with his own intuition. He didn't feel he needed to, because the divine feminine was so physically present in physical form, but then feeling as though she was slipping through his fingers, feeling the pain of some kind of a disconnect from her in the physical, emotionally, or with communication or physically, has catalyzed him, has pushed him off the brink, so to speak, and into this much deeper reconnection with his true spiritual self through this unfolding spiritual awakening happening within him, that the divine feminine is the one playing a role in catalyzing, through holding space for, through rising into her own power, into her own magnetic state of self-love, saying, divine masculine, I do not need you. I desire you to be in my physical reality, to share this union with me. But I'm finding now, I'm supporting now myself in what I need. I am not needing anything from you. I am therefore able to purely just desire you, to purely desire you, divine masculine, in this connection without need, without desperation. And that is the most magnetic frequency to the masculine. I may do a course series in the future on twin flame magnetism, on how to really uproot a lot of these limiting beliefs we are implanted with by society, especially as the divine feminine, and truly become magnetic within twin flame connection. Yeah, action in the reverse position. I almost heard someone saying like, stop. It's like, I see that there was this cycle going around and around and around in the past with the feminine and masculine in the physical. I just see two crows outside my window. I know a lot of you connect with crows. Also, I see this symbolizing this going around and around of two people, there being two birds outside my window. I also see a third bird way off to the side, and I feel that this could represent the karmic interferences in this connection also. So let me know if that resonates. But what I'm seeing is in the past, it's as though there was this constant going around and around, meaning this could play out in so many different ways for you. I'm really just channeling the energies here. But for example, for some of you, this could have looked like a lot more interaction in the past, or even being together in more of a 3D manifested connection or relationship in the past with your person. And yet throughout this, there was a lot of chaos, a lot of turmoil, a lot of tumults, a lot of back and forth, potentially even these karmic interferences. But I see the divine feminine here finally just putting up her hand and saying, stop, no more. I'm breaking the cycle. I'm breaking the pattern. And in this new pattern, she is rising above the chaos, the back and forth, and holding the space for the masculine to rise out of those patterns as well. That is what is so powerfully happening on an energetic level. So I'm going to reshuffle the cards here and speak again to the Divine Feminine. So what does the Divine Feminine's higher self want to say to the Divine Masculine? Cornucopia in the reverse position. I hear a Divine Feminine saying, Divine Masculine, you know that I didn't get what I wanted. And not just what I wanted, but also what I deserved. But the sad thing is, for this Divine Feminine, in the past, she didn't realize this is what she deserved. It's like she wanted something from the masculine that she wasn't getting. But the reason she stayed in that energy of longing, of continuing to connect in that way with him and essentially keeping her standards lower, is because there was a part of her that didn't believe she was fully worthy of what she wanted out of this connection, what she wanted within this connection with the masculine. But this is all powerfully shifting for her, because I hear this Divine Feminine's higher self saying, I now know what I deserve and I won't settle for less. With the garden and the gate in the upright position, I'm protecting my energy. I'm protecting my heart. It's like this gate is encircling her with this kind of energetic protection. I am protecting myself from anything that is less than what I now know that I deserve. Divine Feminine, this could even be speaking to your higher self, energetically blocking or protecting you from offers that would come in that were actually beneath your standards. Again, this could be happening very energetically. So there could be some Divine Feminines listening who you may feel at times lonely in regards to love, or feeling at times unwanted because you don't get as many active offers of love from different masculines as potentially you did at certain times in the past. I feel like this is probably just speaking to one or two feminines here, but if this is you, know that this could actually be a sign that your higher self is protecting you from these offers, blocking them essentially before they even come in, because you now know what you deserve and you are being protected from anything that is less than that highest vibrational form of love connection that you deserve, that you've always deserved, but that you now are consciously remembering that you deserve. You are reconnecting with that sense of innate worthiness. So what else does this Divine Feminine's higher self want to say here? I feel really guided to pull a card from the Moonology deck. So let's see what the Moonology deck has to say here. What does this Divine Feminine's higher self want to say? Believe in the impossible, Blue Moon. This card also shows the image of a full moon, and I'm hearing it's like something coming to completion, to fruition. So Divine Feminine, I'm actually hearing for some of you, this may apply more to work, to career, to your passions. And there could be something about something you are desiring for your life or yourself that has this feeling of being impossible, that feels like, could that really happen for me? Could I really make that happen? And Spirit here is coming in. Anxiety reversed, of course, is also coming up, coming in to say, release your anxieties, release your fears, allow yourself to believe in the impossible in your life, to believe in your own magic, which really isn't magic. It is simply your powerful abilities to manifest what you desire, to create whatever you desire in your life. Now, for some of you, of course, this could apply specifically to your twin, but I'm just hearing this message of leave yourself open to what you once believed to be impossible. With action in the reverse, I see this speaking to the twin flame connection, almost saying that it may feel as though at times physically with your twin flame, things may feel like they aren't going anywhere, like they're dead ending, or like they aren't moving forward. but journey in the reverse position, of course. So, but your higher self is saying if it feels as though things aren't moving forward, remember the journey that is taking place within the self, and remember the truth, the powerful spiritual truth that inner journey, those energetic shifts that happen within us will always manifest themselves physically, will always show up physically. I also heard when you least expect it, when you are just focusing on yourself, your self-love, your self-worth, your life, your goals, your dreams, which may seem impossible, but that aren't impossible, are so available to you at this time. As you release your fears, your anxieties, even when you feel as though you aren't even really focusing on, and maybe especially when you shift your focus away from the physical manifested connection with your twin, that is exactly when what you desire will show up within that connection as well, because Spirit here is coming in to say it's all intertwined. The journey you are taking within yourself, Divine Feminine, to deeper levels of self-love is deeply intertwined with the journey that is happening, the energetic shifts taking place between yourself and your twin as well. And Sacred Soul Sister just came out from the Rumi Oracle. This is the number 37 card. I'm getting that for someone, this could be your age. You might be 37. For others, this card, or rather this number, may be significant. But again, that will probably just be for a few people. I am going to read a little bit from the guidebook from this card as well. When you are conscious, a cloud of sadness surrounds you. When you are beyond consciousness, the moon rests in your arms. When you are conscious, the beloved moves out of your reach. When you are beyond consciousness, the ecstasy of love moves your way. When you are conscious, you are depressed like fall. When you are beyond consciousness, the winter cold feels like spring. All your wavering is due to your longing to be stable. Look for instability until you become stable. And the guidebook also says, I love you. I am your other self. I am with you always, your partner on this soul journey. I hear this coming so directly from this Divine Feminine's higher self to her physical 3D self. I am the you that you do not see. I am the you that speaks through intuition and instincts. I whisper and sing and shout my crazed truth-telling to you through your dreams, through your body. I am the you that is wise, that trusts in life, that knows. I am the you that sees reality rather than appearance. I am the you that knows how to be happy and free. What a beautiful, eloquent message from your higher self, Divine Feminine. And now I'm going to speak to the higher self of the Divine Masculine. So what does this Divine Masculine's higher self want to say here? Door to Romance in the upright position. This is the number 33 card. I know I mentioned that number earlier, but it's coming up again. And I hear this masculine saying, Divine Feminine, won't you open the door for me? How does this masculine want to open this door when it comes to love? Adjacent possibilities in the reverse, by making a choice, by making a commitment and closing out all other options. This is speaking to the fact that this masculine wants to close out all other energies and interferences and anything within his realm of reality, within his energetic space that in the past has caused some kind of, again, manifested interference or perceived disconnect, because there is no true disconnect, but perceived disconnect between himself and the feminine in the past. What were these past perceived disconnects that the masculine now wants to eliminate, or perceived barriers or blockages that are now being closed out? Financial constraints. Interesting. So there could be something related to money, to job or career. I heard fixation on job or career. So something about this masculine's work could have kept him apart from the Divine Feminine in the past, either because of the location of his work or because of how much time or energy that he devoted to it in the past. I'm going to actually read a little bit from the guidebook about this card as well. previous constrictions have broken open. I can move through any cycle with dignity and awareness. Interesting. So that I can move through any cycle. I feel like I am strongly picking up on a masculine who's been through a time of either financial hardship or difficulty in work. I heard stress in work. So this just could be something about career, money, finances that was weighing down this masculine, that he is now moving out of, that he is in the process of breaking free from. And there's this feeling of, I have to break free of this mindset, this restriction, or this thing in order to prepare the way for deeper connection with you, Divine Feminine. That's what I'm getting from this masculine. So what are these other situations or so-called interferences that this masculine is clearing out? I heard through loneliness, I am finding my path, with community reversed, speaking to physical isolation or feelings of loneliness even when you're around other people, and the temple path upright, finding one's true soul path, reconnecting with one's true self. What else is this masculine clearing out that once interfered with this connection? Hostilities. I heard hostilities that were really just inner conflicts. I'm hearing that there could have been arguments or very negatively emotionally charged situations in the past between this masculine and the feminine that caused this Divine Feminine to finally say, you know what, I need to energetically protect myself. I don't want to be, again, this won't necessarily be for everyone, but I hear a feminine saying, I don't want to be in this toxic or codependent or very negatively emotionally charged kind of connection with you, Divine Masculine, anymore. I am letting go, because in protecting myself and putting up these walls in the physical, I'm really, with anxiety reversed, just letting myself be free of all of this fear, all of this negative energy that feels like it's coming from our physically manifested connection with one another. And I feel this masculine speaking to that and saying, I'm finally realizing the manifestation of those negative energies between yourself and me, Divine Feminine, was really just manifested internal conflict, internal hostility within myself. And I want to go ahead and reshuffle these other cards because it feels like a powerful message is trying to come through there. So what was this internal conflict or internal hostility that manifested for the masculine in this physical connection with the Divine Feminine? Walking away in the upright position, I heard two things. One, this Divine Feminine saying, I had to walk away again to energetically protect myself, to allow myself to experience peace, to find myself again, is what I'm hearing someone say. But then on the other hand, simultaneously, I hear this masculine saying, I was always so terrified that you would leave, Divine Feminine, that I actually created a situation in which you did leave, because the internal hostility here was this deep-seated abandonment wound for this masculine, this fear of being left, this fear of being abandoned. Door to Spirit upright. But now I hear this masculine saying, I am now realizing that the reason I pushed you away is because I was afraid that you would leave. And I know that sounds so backwards, but that is such a clear message coming through from this masculine. How else was this masculine experiencing internal conflicts? I also hear a masculine ignoring intuition regarding some kind of a third party situation, with this Door to Spirit card speaking to intuition. Now, this won't connect with everyone, but there is a masculine here who it's like his higher self tried over and over to get through to him, to guide him away from, to essentially protect him from some kind of third party or karmic relationship, person, or situation. But I feel that he didn't listen to this intuitive voice. I heard listen to his ego instead. So he could have been getting some kind of an ego boost out of this person or situation, ignored his intuition. And I feel that this caused this specific divine feminine a lot of pain, caused her to feel unloved. With the Caring Connections card coming out, it's almost like she had to let go and allow herself to rise to a higher vibrational form of love connection, because it was too painful to remain so physically connected to someone who wasn't listening to their intuition regarding some kind of karmic or third party or other interference sort of situation that was interfering with the love that he was showing to her or not showing to her in the physical. I know that's kind of a complex message, and that also will not resonate with everyone. So only take that, especially that specific message, if it connects with you. But I now want to speak to what this masculine wants to say now, because we've talked a lot to past situations and energies, and the reason those things have been coming up through this reading is because this masculine is really in the thick of this spiritual awakening that is causing him to consciously realize, to revisit these dynamics within himself, either consciously or unconsciously, and really begin to realize the role he played in causing this disconnect that is now causing him to feel so much pain emotionally. So with action coming out reversed, I actually heard waits. I really heard this masculine saying, I'll wait for you. Won't you wait for me? There's this energy of waiting for someone. There's also this message of, you are the one that I've been waiting for, but I didn't even fully realize it, because I feel like this masculine had an opportunity in the past to connect more closely with the divine feminine and with blossoming abundance. It's like he lost out on this opportunity because he didn't realize, it's like he didn't consciously realize that this was the person, the connection he'd been waiting for, because of the ways he was pushing away the thing that he desired the most out of fear. That abandonment wound is kind of coming up again here. First chakra in the upright position. I am building a foundation for us, divine feminine. That's what I hear this masculine saying. I heard it's going to take time, but I'm now willing to put in the effort. The temple path in the upright position and financial constraints reversed. I'm breaking free of all of those interferences, all of those situations that blocked our connection in the past, because the only reason they were blocking our connection physically in the 3D is because they were actually blocking my connection with my true soul's path, with the temple path in the upright position. But now I am walking that path. I am getting myself back on that path, and therefore breaking out of, eliminating those interferences energetically that were causing manifested disconnect or perceived disconnect between you and I. That's what I hear this masculine saying. Now, I want to see if I can get one final Rumi Oracle card from this divine masculine. So what is one final message from this masculine? One final Rumi Oracle card from this divine masculine's higher self. And of course, two cards came out here. Resplendent with Grace and Whirling Goddess. So I'm going to read a little bit from the guidebook here. Greetings from my heart to you who are always with me, hidden inside as the hearts. You are the compass of my life. My course is your way, no matter where I go. You exist everywhere and in everything, always watching over us. My brightness, or my soul, brightens in the darkness when I speak your name. Far beyond the body, there is an opening from my heart into yours. Through that opening, I send you secret messages like the moonlights. I polish the mirror of my heart to be your reflection. I make my ear the receiver for the tenderness of your words. You are in the ear. You are in the minds. You are in every burning heart. What am I saying? You are I. That is my way to describe you. Rumi. What a really beautiful poem, a very twin flame specific poem as well. And I'm going to read from the second card, Whirling Goddess. Lose your head. Not a single thread that has a head can go through the eye of the needle. And I actually heard this speaking from the feminine to the masculine, saying, masculine, lose your ego, release your ego. Because with going through the eye of the needle, I see something that seems to be impossible to the logical mind, to the ego. And I see the feminine saying, release your ego, because if we are going to achieve this at times seemingly impossible dream of reunion, of reconnection with one another, it requires us to release our logic, release our ego-based perspectives that were planted into us by a broken society, and to allow ourselves to believe in the impossible. And this card also says, this oracle brings you a message. You are at the point of growth where your mind can hold you back rather than urge you forward. If you have, like so many, used your mind to support you, to shore up your sense of self in the world, and to gain a sense of certainty about how the world works, then this is no easy leap. It will seem as though you are being asked to pass through the keyhole. Of course, your mind will stop and argue for all the reasons why the door should be opened instead of remaining closed. Masking the task seems so much harder than it needs to be. But this is the mind. Making the task. I wonder why this instant makes sense. Making the task seem so much harder than it needs to be. But this is the mind in resistance. Don't place too much stock in claims that life should be other than it is. You are being asked to dance rather than understand, to lay the thoughts to rest and to come alive. It is the bravest, most trusting soul that dares to put the mind to one side and say, tonight we dance, my heart and I, in the great rousing music of the beloved's beating hearts, and I will not miss one step. Absolutely beautiful message from Rumi, and I feel that's a perfect place to close out this extended reading. So I really hope you received something valuable from this reading today. As always, only take what resonates with you personally and leave the rest. I hope you have a truly beautiful, wonderful rest of your day and start to your week, and I will talk to you again in Wednesday's extended reading.